So, why did you brought me to a museum again, Charles? The King and Queen of Clubs are making a room dedicated to amazing movies despite their financial failures. Many of our top scientists refer to it as the Iron Giant Effect. The Iron Giant Effect? The Iron Giant Effect is named after said movie where it bombed in theaters, but over time grew a massive cult following through home media, wins at the Annie Awards, and even got an extended remaster version. No way! Yes, in fact, the Iron Giant Effect is still happening to some of the recent movies, like Transformers 1 is getting more love and appreciation lately. Well, that's good to know. And Elio got 10 Annie knobs like K-pop. Wait, what? How? And James Gunn's The Double S is now canon to the new DC universe thanks to Peacemaker Season 2. Yeah, we knew it would retcon the bad 2016 version anyway. It's true. So, you got anything for the club? Oh sure, I got some Looney Tunes movies, Kubo and the Two Strings, Muppets Most Wanted, Gremlins 2, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and... Oh Charles, I found something! What is he doing here? Alright, he's been trying to force me to include some of his movies into our library. Ignore him, none of his ideas have the Iron Giant Effect. But everyone wants to see Black Adam fight Superman! No, we don't, we're gonna have Lobo in the Supergirl movie. The Mummy with Tom Cruise! We replaced that universe with Epic Universe! Did any of you guys see Tron Ares? No. Okay, how about this? Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. Actually, I don't know where this movie stands. Don't look at me, I was just about to watch the movie for the review. Well, come to think of it, I don't think I even remember seeing Larry putting his slimy executive hands on it. Maybe we should look it over to confirm some results. Oh, can I sing a parody of Poor Unfortunate Souls for this film? Sorry, time constraints. Rats. This is one of those DreamWorks movies that nobody really talked about. Originally, the film was going to be called Meet the Gillmans, and it was supposed to be about a family of sea monsters living their lives on dry land, and there was going to be several sea creatures in underwater worlds, but they were cut due to time constraints. After the announcement, DreamWorks Animation did nothing to market the movie, only posting trailers while satirizing The Little Mermaid. Despite the massive glories of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish and The Bad Guys in 2022, 2023 was really a bad year for DreamWorks Animation with Trolls Band Together and how Ruby Gillman bombed during its summer release. While I did hear about this movie for a while during its summer release, I did not see it in theaters because the trailer spoiled too much of the plot structure, which is more problematic than not advertising the movie with anything. However, I was still a bit curious about this Poor Unfortunate Soul, wondering where am I going to land on this movie? Is it an underrated classic DreamWorks movie like Rise of the Guardians or Road to El Dorado? Or is the only thing good about it is cooking some calamari? Welcome to another episode of The One Reviews. I guess it's time to be part of this movie's world. This is my review of Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. The film is about a teenage girl who just hit puberty, which causes her to transform into a gigantic, adorable creature, and now she has to learn how to control her emotions and this strange power. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of turning red during the edit. Let me try this again. The film is about a teenage girl who just hit puberty, which causes her to transform into a gigantic, adorable creature, and now she has to learn how to control her emotions and this strange power. Yeah, we kinda already did that metaphor from another movie. What's really the difference between this and turning red? Well, the plot is that Ruby Gillman is a teenage Kraken, and her parents forbid her from going anywhere near the water. When she tried to ask a boy out, he fell into the water and Ruby tried to save him. But when she took her fate, she transformed into a giant Kraken. And according to her grandmama, Ruby is the chosen one that is destined to protect the ocean from dangerous sea monsters. Ruby, of course, doesn't want to be the chosen one. She just wants to live her normal life as a teenager and ask her boyfriend out to prom. So she decides to team up with a mermaid named Chelsea that if they destroy a powerful weapon called the Trident of Oceanus, the ocean will be safe from absolute danger. But other than that, yeah, this is just copying and pasting the plot of Turning Red. I know it's unfair to compare it to another movie and or TV show based off the same concept, but the problem is that the Ruby Gillman movie did use too many plot elements from Turning Red. Like the teenage girl is a prodigy with 3 friends, the main character has a crush on a teenage boy which triggers the transformation, the conflict between the mother and daughter, the main character wants her independence and participate in a big event, and the climax is a showdown between the 2 gigantic creatures. Even giving Ruby the chosen one position doesn't really make things better. Now I will give the concept this, it does have some interesting ideas regarding the Krakens themselves and how they were meant as protectors of the sea. And the idea of making mermaids evil to the Krakens is fascinating too. In fact, evil mermaids are actually a thing in mythology and they're often known as sirens. They use their beautiful looks and majestic voices to lure their prey and give them peril. The ideas are there to make this underwater adventure look and sound exciting, but because it's about Ruby wanting to go to prom and getting her life back while trying to control her powers, it just makes the plot predictable. Also, for some reason, only Ruby, her mom, and grandma can only have these powers, but not the rest of their family. I don't get it. As for the movie's humor, it's mostly mixed. Sometimes you get a laugh, but the rest pretty much fall flat. The ideas on the Krakens and their purpose are there, it just wasn't well executed. All the high school tropes and family dilemmas have already been done in other movies and sitcoms. Actually, the more I think about it, I feel like this movie would have been reserved as a TV pilot episode, seeing how we don't really see a lot of mysterious sea creatures starring the Krakens. So, where do the rest of the land and sea characters stand as movie characters? Like the story, the characters are mostly mixed. They're not bad or intolerable, it's just that the plot didn't give them much to offer. But the main character, Ruby, she's the teenage Kraken girl that loves math and wants to go to prom despite her mom's objection that it's going to be surrounded by the sea. Well, she does have a good idea of restoring peace on both land and sea, and she doesn't really rip off May from Turning Red. We don't get a lot of depth between her and her family living in the service world. Agatha, on the other hand, seems to have the same traits as May's mom as overprotective, restrictive, and she has a dark secret that she doesn't want her daughter to be a part of. She does have an interesting backstory that she ran away from the throne to raise her family, and they end up achieving some amazing things, but the relationship between her and Ruby is nothing but mommy issues. There is also Grandmama, the queen of the seas who trains Ruby so she can protect the ocean, and she has a good intuition. For the side characters in this movie, they're barely characters worth remembering. You got Ruby's dad, brother, and uncle being the comic reliefs, Connor is just Ruby's love interest, Gordon Lighthouse is the unfunny, cartoony Captain Ahab sailor that wants to slay the Kraken, and Ruby's friends are just her version of May's trio friends where one's her best friend, one's a gamer, and the other's morbid. And then there's the Little Mermaid, Chelsea, who is surprisingly the best character in the movie. She has an interesting backstory that ties into the feud between the Krakens and the mermaids, and she does have a believable friendship between her and Ruby. She's like Glinda from Wicked that wants to help Ruby and maybe teach her how to be popular. But there's just one problem. Around the third act of the movie, they actually tried to build her up as a major twist villain. And if you have already seen the trailers, we already found out that she was going to be the main villain of the entire picture. But the saddest thing about this, she also could have been a great DreamWorks villain. She could have been like the fairy godmother from Shrek, where she used her charm and popularity to hide her true intentions and seize control of the ocean. But her big reveal really felt like it was just added in at the last minute and doesn't contribute anything special towards her character. If I do have to give the film a lot of credit, that the animation is pretty good. It's not one of DreamWorks' best artworks, but the visuals are pleasing and nice to look at. Beginning with the backgrounds, the town of Oceanside is impressive as a harbor surrounded by water with some nautical decorations, while the Kraken Kingdom is an underwater kingdom with some bright neon colors. Another thing I like from the film are the visual effects. Whenever Ruby unleashed her Kraken powers or tried to retrieve the trident from the Well of Seas, it makes some of the scenes look colorful, and I will admit the showdown between her and Chelsea is enjoyable as well. Speaking of the sea creatures, the designs of the Krakens are remarkable, giving them a cartoonish look with some scaly and wet textures on their skins. In addition, they have some cool powers like super strength, body armor, camouflage, and shooting lasers from their eyes. And their character movements bring a lot of energy, showing how different they move than with the humans. However, I do have some problems with the human character designs because the humans in the movie don't look human at all. What I mean is that Connor, Ruby's friends, and almost everyone else almost look like the Gillmans than regular people. Like how their arms, legs, and the rest of the body are too long and slim, and their eyes and noses are too big. It's like the humans in this film thought they entered the world of Luca, where instead of the sea monsters camouflaging as humans on dry land, it's the other way around. And it's not just the character designs. The humans in Ruby Gillman also move cartoony as the Gillmans, which ruins the whole difference between the two species. And whenever Ruby and the gang visit the Oceanside buildings, they don't really share the same aesthetic as the harbor because they go to a normal school, a regular library, or even return to their ordinary home. The film does contain a pop music soundtrack, and it's alright. At the very least, it is well done and it does balance the tone of the movie. As for the acting, it's okay as well. Some like Alana Condor, Annie Murphy, and Toni Collette had the best performances, while some like Will Forte and Sam Richardson are just overreacting in this one. All I can say is that the Kraken world, it's a mess, but life in Turning Red is better than anything than whatever they have from Oceanside. Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken is just an okay movie. It's not as bad as Trolls Band Together, but it's definitely no Puss in Boots: The Last Wish or The Wild Robot. While the animation is nice to look at, it doesn't change that the plot is predictable with a bunch of deja vus, and the characters are forgettable. I only recommend this movie to super DreamWorks animation fans, the kind that wants to complete their entire library collection from the studio. For everyone else, I say watch this once and decide on your own on where you stand with this. For me, I've seen better seaside movies like The Little Mermaid, Pixar's Luca, and Ponyo, and films such as Turning Red and Inside Out 2 did a good job with their coming-of-age stories. As for this movie, I just don't see myself watching it again anytime soon. And after using my calculator, I give Ruby Gillman a C. I'm Mad Hair Patrick. Now if you excuse me, I'm going to comb my hair with a dingle hopper. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.